All right, I'm ready.
Yo, okay, cool. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Uh, how's it going with you?
Also pretty good. I won a Verdugo from losers last night, which is rare, so that was a good time.
Oh yeah, I saw that you won the run back against Suf, right?
Yeah, I mean the main point was I got the spud win with Sheik, but I just
Yeah.
any Marth win with Sheik, I'm just like, let's go, my Sheik's a baby. Okay, so what would you like to go over today? What's been going on with Melee?
Um, yeah. So I sent you over like a few sets of VODs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like, kind of briefly, I think it feels like I'm doing okay in the closeness of the games. They feel fairly close, but then I end up just kind of losing a lot.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, I don't know if it's just like details.
Just across
Um,
every matchup, you feel like?
I think it's especially prevalent versus like I've noticed it happens a lot when I play versus Logo specifically and versus
Hmm.
Pantera.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like they're like wildly better or anything, but it always ends up being like pretty close, and then they just clutch it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with Pantera, it feels like a little more problematic, but I don't know. I think I'm slowly starting to figure out things versus Falcon. It's just I probably still need to keep working on some things.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you one slippy of me versus Zio where I feel like I played close to like ideally how I want to play versus Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of like just speed, and like yeah, I don't know if you wanted to take a look at that and critique it,
Okay, yeah,
because
where
that
would
might
you
be
like to start? What do you want to start on?
yeah. If we could look at the one, it's just a one quick match of me
Zio
versus
at the bottom. Okay.
yeah, exactly. It's not like a really bad game or anything. So I just wanted to get your perspective on what you think of what I feel is like an example of me playing in a way that I prefer to play, or
Okay.
like it seems
Yeah,
closer
sick.
to what I want to do.
Okay. Oh, that was almost a really, really good combo.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been ending all my combos on a Falcon really early lately. Like, I've just been forward smashing after this up tilt, or maybe I'll dash Nair or back air here and try to finish it off early. I wouldn't shine here and deal with this whole situation, but you still would have killed him.
yeah. I've been trying to do the short hop up air at around 30% that you were talking about
Mm-hmm.
versus Falcon. It actually it's pretty good. I
Yeah.
still need to shorten my combos more. I think against Falcon too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a couple things here. I think overall this is actually looking pretty good. Um, I think the couple things would be your lasers sometimes are a little low. Like sometimes you shoot the ones that are like a little bit like this. He can short hop over this. Like short hop Nair will go over this, and you could die.
Right.
Um, there's a couple of those. I think you should end your stocks a little earlier. Like, you don't really want Falcon dying at like 150 or whatever. He should be dying at like 60, 70, 80, those types of percents. Like, you hit him a few times and just smack him off the stage and then edge guard him.
Right.
Like, the longer you keep him on stage, it doesn't really help all that much. It just kind of gives him more chances to get out. And then the other thing is, at low percent, I think you could be fiending for the shine a little harder. Like, you're going for shines for sure, but it's just like I would like to, like, that was really good, obviously. It's like, let's find a spot. Okay, well, there were a couple spots that I saw already, so I'll just wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, that was really good, though. Nice. That's exactly what I would have done there. Perfect. Yeah, good. See how he dies at 76? Yeah. That's like so much more ideal.
I need to do that way more.
That's like the right percent for him to die for sure. Right here, dash full hop is so good out of the corner. Like, dash full hop down air to top plat kind of just beats all of Falcon's stuff, and you don't have
true.
And you don't have to get stuck in the corner like that. Yeah. It overall, like I said, it looks good. I think. Okay, that was good. That's what I mean by like the shine hunting. You're just like, gimme, and then you get it. That's good. Once again, dies at 79. That's like what you want. Because look, there's no reason for him to really live longer than like 80. Like, he's at the high enough percent you can hit him off. The main thing that I see here that I think is probably an issue outside of the couple little things is I think you sometimes try to force it a little too hard. Like, the main thing against Falcon is, like, if you maintain neutral, he will give it to you at some point. You don't have to make it happen. There's just like a little. It's just like a little looser than I want it to be. And this is something like you're gonna be tightening up forever. Like, because I'm working on something really similar right now, where it's just like you're making lots of good decisions, but like once every 3 good decisions, you do something kind of dumb, and it's like you need to remove that kind of dumb thing, like. Like, here, we're doing great, and then you're just like, yeah, up air. And it works out, but it's like, it wasn't really, like, he didn't give it to you, you know? You kind of reached for it, and the reaching will, like, that's the thing in this matchup, is, like, Falco can win by being just this oppressive, like, haha, I'm net play Falco, I jump in and shine and stuff, and Falcon kind of struggles to deal with that. But he struggles even more to deal with Falco, like, playing each interaction really patiently. So, like, if you want to win the hardest, you shouldn't really go for, like, those types of things unless you have, like, a kind of, like, a hard read. And this is super different because he gets completely stuffed in, like, his shield by this laser here. So, like, I completely agree with that down here. At least you don't get shield grabbed. That down here, this is another one. It's like, did he give this to you? Is this like an opening that you love? And you're like, nah, I just kind of thought maybe. And then right here, okay, when it resets, dash away, high laser to full reset the situation. If you do this, you could have just gotten killed. So it's like a lot of your stuff is like, it's just not quite airtight enough in terms of like when you're safe and not, because okay, like let's say like right here is like you get this and you get this win right here, nice, and it's like you shield and it's like, all right, so what happens if you just like full hop here or light shield for a second or like chill out for a second, but when you commit, like you'd be fine and you just keep winning. But like when you start taking the risks, that is when things can start going wrong. Like while you're doing this, that's great. He just kind of got this lucky grab here. But this was really good, like, laser zoning. And you can kind of just keep that up as long as you need to also, like, in positions like this where you feel really pressured right here, you can just crouch. He struggles a lot against the crouch right here because you can shield all of his aerials on reaction. So rather than like jumping here to beat it, you can just crouch, and unless he super hard read raw grabs you immediately, you'll beat it.
Okay.
Like, basically, this matchup can, like, the most effective way to play this matchup is like you're fighting a Puff, but you can zero death her. That's like very, like, how it kind of feels as me. Like, you would not really do any of these types of things against Puff. Like, you wouldn't be like doing that approaching laser against Puff or whatever. It's like, there's no reason to play, like, he's not a spacey. He's a lot closer to how you have to play against like Puff or something, and you just don't want him to get anything, and then you can just zero death him. Like, if you could zero death Puff, think about how insanely good the matchup would be for you, because you just kind of wait, get like laser nair, and then she dies. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so this is really good. Notice how you're just like basically in no danger, like right after that, after the first shine, and then you just react to the nair, you come down, safe, retreat again, laser pressure, safe again, laser hit him, pressure again, totally safe, and he's just gonna die out of that, right? Like, that is what you want. This is like the ideal match where you're like, you're not risking anything, you're not reaching. Don't reach against Falcon. But when you play like that and you're like, pressure, safe, pressure, safe, 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 pressure, safe, pressure, safe, it's like he super struggles with that, because if you just get one read, it's shine into death. So, mostly correct, but you need to stay extra disciplined. That's my issue against Falcon too, is I get undisciplined. So, but overall, pretty good. Just kill it those lower percents, reset with retreating high laser a little bit more, and stay patient.
Okay.
But overall, like, it looks pretty good. It's kind of that, like, in between your good ideas, like, you'll have a good idea and you'll hit him, and then you have another good idea and you'll hit him. But then in between those good ideas, there's just that little bit of like, well, what if I just shield drop down here? There's just that little bit of laziness like leaking through, and that laziness is what'll keep you right below this tier of players that you're trying to get above. You have to be like, you have to be like ruthless. Like, completely.
That's the feeling that I get.
And like, if you're playing super ruthless, like, sometimes people like have a feeling that like they try to play like ruthless or play like perfect or too good, and then like you're kind of trying too hard to be like perfect, and that makes you slow, and it makes you stiff, and it makes you predictable. And then a lot of times people lose doing that, and they go, oh, that's right, I just gotta like flow. And then they try to flow, but then like their flow includes dash dance nair every 3 seconds. And so it's like, you have to be able to like play in this like flow state defensively, where you're like, okay, like, I'm playing like my safe game, but then like you're not like, I have to do everything perfectly or he's gonna hit me out of my lasers or whatever like that. You don't want to be thinking of it like that. You want to be like kind of like comfortable with it, and like, just be like, you need to get comfortable playing in a way, because a lot of Falcos, they have this feeling that like, if I shoot more lasers, I'm just giving them more chances to hit me, you know? But like, it's the opposite, where every laser is like preventing them from hitting you. And so it's like, you just need to make sure that you play. Here's my hypothesis, okay? I think that the reason why you probably lose these last stock games is because the player better than you is probably playing slightly too aggro. And you are doing a little timing mix-up, and you're baiting out the aggro, and then you hit them, and then they come back, and you do your little timing mix-up, and maybe you get a little lazy, and they bring it back, and then the stocks are even, and then on the last stock, what they do is they just feign that they're gonna like go in, but they're actually playing super patient, and you probably get lazy and reach for something and then die. That's my guess. That's my hypothesis right now.
I mean, you'd probably be mostly right, I guess. I think that's usually how it feels, yeah, for sure.
Because everybody at a higher level will like turn up the patience last stock, And if you aren't ready to play the patient game, because like what'll happen is that they get too used to playing at this sort of rhythm where like there's interactions every couple seconds, and then when the person sort of draws it back a little bit and they start playing a lot safer, then there's two options. Either like the lower level person doesn't realize that like the other person got safer and they just run in and get hit, or they go, wait a minute, they're playing really safe, I'll play safe too. But they're not playing comfortably safe. They're playing like under pressure safe. It's like hard to describe it. Like it's like you can't be like, well, they're playing safe, so I'm forced to play safe. You're just like, oh, they're playing safe? Like, oh, I'm down to play the safe game. Like I'm way better at the safe game than them, you know?
Right.
You need to take it from like a position of like initiative. That, like you're down to do this. You're not forced to do it because of them, because it'll make you kind of like tight and like reactive a lot of times if you end up doing that. Okay, so let's just look at this Falco ditto really quick. I'm just gonna go through it pretty quickly. Really good first.
Sure. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm
because like you're kind of
you know what? There's also, sorry, I just want to say there's like a real like annoying problem that I have, which is I think my discipline is like correlated to how much I've been recently studying that matchup. And on
I
ranked,
super
like
feel that. I am very similar.
Like if I go on unranked, I don't have any control over the people I match with. I mean, I try to like go on Discords and like match with people directly for certain matchups, but nobody responds because nobody knows who I am or cares. Or I'm on West Coast, so like most people are on East Coast and they don't want to play like 80 ping matches. So I don't really get to play like matchups I want to play. I just end up playing with whoever I can match with on unranked. And,
yeah, same.
Like I run into Logos, and then like I run into Logos, and he's like, you know, I haven't studied Falco in like 3 weeks. Like I forget like a lot of basic rules that are really important. That like, I mean, I guess it's just kind of like a matter of how much I've internalized the rules. Like it's clearly like if it was more internalized, it probably I wouldn't need to have recently studied it to like be better prepared to play the patient game or the safe game. Like
sorry, give me 1 second. Somebody's knocking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm doing a lesson right now. My family's just like, we got pizza rolls, and I'm like, I'm doing a lesson. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it was nice of them to let me know. Okay,
right.
Let's see. So you were saying that, okay, so let's continue.
I was just saying that, that basically I don't get a lot of practice in the matchups I want, so then like I feel like I'm rusty in the basic rules, and then if I match with someone pretty good like Pantera or Logos, like they end up kind of feeling like they're just a little more clean at staying disciplined and playing the patient game and the safe game than I am. So I don't know. It's like the answer, I guess, just to keep getting my butt whooped and just keep studying, and just eventually, if I trust in the process, I'll get to a point where I'm like competing with them, or I don't know, like because I want to get to a point where I'm competing with them, or even beating them, because I feel like if you played them, both of them, you would destroy them, and I like try to think about what it is that you would do to improve, because like we talked a long time ago about what you do, and you're like, well, when I study matches, I try to take away like just a few key things and try to like make them actionable, important things. And you know, you spend like a few weeks just focusing on only those things and not trying to like study like everything all at once. But I think it feels like I want to know more specifically like what your daily practice routine feels like, because there's also a part of me that's like, whenever we have a lesson, it feels like there's always something new that you're telling me about, or something new that you're like, oh, I've been working on this lately. And I don't know if that's just like you have such a huge reservoir of ideas and things that you're already like have available to you that you're just constantly able to like give me something new to think about every lesson, or if like every time we talk you've already like grinded like thousands of hours or something between each lesson, and now you just have like a bunch of new ideas. It feels like it's probably like more the latter, because it feels like you are so constantly far ahead of the field that like there's no way that you're not really working like super duper hard.
I'm not.
And I'm like, and I'm like, I must be missing something or not doing enough to like
Mm-hmm.
approve, because it feels like you always have something new to work on, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like I always have something quite uh, as pivotal or fundamental or new that I'm like trying to employ in every new matchup. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm like, maybe do I need to do this more to like, is this what I need to catch up to people at that level, like at the level above mine, you know?
You're saying in terms of like hard work, or I feel
Uh,
like I've had like so many good responses while you've been talking, and I've been waiting for you to finish, and now you're finished, and I was like, okay, wait, what was the first thing I thought of?
oh,
Um,
sorry,
no, no, you're good. I definitely feel like there's like good stuff to talk about in here. Let's see.
I can recount what I was saying
Yeah, yeah, just
generally.
like go like point by point because I
Yeah.
there were like a
So,
bunch of things to say to each thing.
okay. So yeah. The first thing was just basically I feel like I'm not really ready. I'm not
Yeah,
haven't
yeah, yeah,
practiced
for
that
each matchup,
articulate.
right? Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this was
yeah.
the first thing. You need to have a rehearsal for each matchup. You need to have like an entry point because the goal is to get into your groove. You like when you get into the groove on a matchup and you're just playing it right and everything is working and everything feels solid. Um, your goal whenever you get into a match or a set against that character is you need to get into the groove against that character. And a lot of times, the way you do that is you have certain patterns that are either very safe or very consistent or both against a character. And, like, for instance, like, let's say I've been playing a lot against, um, Peach. Let's say I've been playing against Peach or something, and then I'm instantly playing against a Fox. I'm a lot more likely to start the match against the Fox with like laser in place over and over and over and over, and then full hop to top plat, and then come down and laser in place over and over and over and over. And it's like as the set goes on, you don't really see me go into like that laser pattern quite as much. I still do it, obviously, but it's not quite as just like straightforward and basic as that. The reason I do that is because I'm trying to get myself in the anti-Fox groove. And I'll do the same thing with, like, Falcon, where you shoot a bunch of the high lasers, and you get a bunch of high laser dash dance, and then you dash in, and you get under his, like, approaching aerials. And it gives me, like, a little bit of comfort of, like, okay, I can laser, and I can dash in under him, and I can stay low. And once you can kind of find the groove and your brain gets warmed up in the matchup, then you're fine. But when you've been practicing these other matchups all the time, your brain is all over the place and it's not focused. It's not like I keep saying grooving. It's not grooving in this matchup, and it's not like you're not flowing through the matchup. So you just need to have like key points in each matchup that will kind of like that you do every time you play a matchup to sort of get you in the zone of like, oh yeah, this is the type of option I use against this character. Or like against Falco, I will get like laser control and then I go to the side plat. And I get laser control and I go to the side plat. And I'm like, okay, like, this is the Falco ditto. Remember, you just need to do this. And I'll usually bait people with a bunch of like little gotchas. That's like a good way to start out. Is like I'll be like laser, laser, full hop to side plat, and I'll just wait. I'll just dash dance up there in the ditto, and then see if they're dumb enough to like in the moment, to take this approaching aerial under the platform, and then maybe I'll get like an early lead, and I get like a down air, and I get a shine. Like, okay, nice, and kind of get into like the groove of the matchup. Or versus
Right.
Puff, like you get like those high lasers and you just cancel her full hop, and it's like, no, there's no reason to like go in with Nair. There's no reason to really move back or forward too much. You just like pressure the full hop with the laser, and then she jumps up higher, and you get underneath her, and you're like, okay, right, this is the comfort zone. So like what you just have to be careful, because if you stand there and you're just like, oh yeah, this is good against Falco and this is good against Falco, and then you get into the set and you start doing it, it's like you're chasing like the idea of the thing rather than the parts of your brain that have actually practiced the thing. Like you're like telling you're chasing like the idea of how to play the Falcon matchup rather than actually like warming up your brain to play the Falcon matchup or the Falco matchup or whatever. So that's what I would say is have some sort of like rehearsal, have some sort of like thing you go through when you start a set against a character that can get you in the zone, in the comfort zone, and like remind you of which options are really good. Just it can be like covering common options or just being extra safe or whatever, but just something that can remind you. It's kind of like listening. It's like listening to a certain song to like remind you of a certain feeling or something like that. It's like you do a certain set of inputs and a certain set of options that like overall you're like you're not just gonna lose the set for doing those options, and you do it in a repetitive way that'll kind of get you in the zone in that matchup, and that's what works for me. And it's still something that I struggle a lot with, like forgetting matchups because I didn't play them for a couple months or whatever, and it's really hard to get back into the zone of the matchup. And that's just what I've found brings the most success. It's not an easy process, but otherwise you're just kind of stuck, like you said, just kind of learning and unlearning and relearning over and over until, you're just kind of good enough that you can make it work. And I think that's a lot of times how it just ends up working at top level. It's just like, oh, they haven't played this matchup in a while, and then maybe like game one, it takes them, to get back into the zone of that matchup, and then they're kind of back in it or whatever. It's not a simple problem to solve. Okay, so what was the next point you made, or the next thing you were asking about?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Just really quick, just to make sure I understand.
Okay, yeah, no, go for
I
it.
should have like a basic plan for like a super safe strategy, like macro strategy in like every matchup that I can just fall back on, so that I can kind of get my bearings first.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay,
like
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, you just want like a little bit of like a warm up or something, basically in the match to get comfortable in that particular matchup.
Gotcha.
And if you have free stalemates in a matchup, that's the best. Like you just like against Peach, like I start out and I full hop to top plat and I go to the side plat, and then I'm like, oh yeah, she can't attack me here. Like, oh, that's true. And I just you start instantly getting kind of like in the zone.
Okay, that makes sense.
And if you consistently cannot maintain the zone, it just means you're not that good at the matchup. That's how I am against Puff and Pikachu and Yoshi, is that like I'll be insane against them, and then like I don't play it for 3 days, and then I'm awful at it. Or sometimes even within the same session, I'll be amazing at it, and then turn bad at it, and then turn good at it again. And that's just when you you just need more time in the matchup and experience in that case.
Right. And that itself is probably good practice. Like, just practicing being safe against them over and over.
Yeah, just practice kind of trying to get back into the zone. Like, you just need to get really good at getting into the zone.
Okay.
And honestly, that's true with tournament play, too. It's just like, regardless of matchup, you just have to have some sort of mental routine that prepares you for, like, this is about to be an incredibly difficult top-level match, And when, like, you're kind of new to it, your brain is just like, I will prepare for this by panicking, and your body starts freaking out. But then, like, when you get better, your body's like, oh, it's that thing where I have to play, like, a really, really good player. And it just starts, like, kind of getting you in the zone for it from, like, experience and just practice.
Right.
And so it's that same type of rehearsal, getting in the right mindset is just like a big part of competition in general that you have to get good at.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice. That makes sense. And then the next thing was so like it was like generally about improvement and whether the idea should be that, like, whenever we talk, it seems like you always have like a million new things, and I'm not sure if it's like because you're just working insanely hard between lessons. I mean, you probably are, but like you're working pretty hard, or if like you're constantly coming up with new ideas, and if that's like what it takes to improve, to catch up to people that are like up beyond your level. Like, what can I do to kind of bridge the gap?
Okay, so I would say, first of all, like, especially, like, the last few months, I have definitely not been working super hard. I would say earlier this year, I definitely was. I think that as you get better, it's kind of like a rich get richer type situation where, like, the better you are at the game, the better you are at implementing new things. Because, like, you have, like, a really strong basis and you can just add new things on really easily. And the more inexperienced you are, it's like it's harder to add on new things. So it's always gonna feel like top players are like adding on things faster, even if they don't like work harder, just because it's kind of easier to add on all these little things when you're not trying to solve like so many problems at once. Like it's just like when I play the game, it's so like like I don't want to. I'm not tooting my own horn. It's like there's like so much quality gameplay already that when I do something really stupid, it stands out extra hard, and it's a lot easier to like target it and fix it. Or maybe another top player brings up something to me, and I go, "Huh, I'll try that." And I'll have like 15 minutes of experience using it, but then like that'll a lot of times give me enough info that I can just like implement it. And it's kind of like not fair because it definitely didn't used to be like that. Like I used to have to struggle way harder to like implement new stuff.
Right.
So I think it's like at your level, you probably need to put in a lot more effort to implement things that fast. But I don't think it's something that you should like feel bad or try to like compare yourself, because it's just literally like I have a stronger basis, so it's easier to like sprinkle new things on.
Yeah.
So okay, so this is also something I wanted to bring up. I was thinking about it earlier. It's not 100% in reference to your points, but so you're getting better now to the point where like when you do good things, they are just good. Like they're like you do a lot of things that can't be better, at least in terms of like comparing it to like a top player. Like you'll do plenty of stuff where you do it and I'm like, oh, like I couldn't have done that any better. Like you did it perfect. At least according to me, you know. There's probably more ways to optimize it perfectly, but I'm like, yeah, there's nothing to really improve there. And when you reach that level, like I think you're really starting to get there where they stop being about knowing good stuff. You already know so much good stuff. It becomes a lot more about how you are actually playing the game and like your rate of hitting the good stuff and not doing the bad stuff. Like, it really starts to come down to discipline at this point, because you know what a good interaction looks like. You know how to play smart interactions. We've been through all these lessons, right? We've been through all this stuff. Like, you're not slow anymore. Like, you're not overly defensive. Like, you know how to pressure. You know how to look for good openings. You do good laser control, and you get a smart opening, and you hit really hard off of it, and you kill your opponent. And if you were doing that every single stock, you wouldn't be able to like lose, right? If every single stock was a laser outplay into a clean opening into a zero death, that's a clean JV5 every time. So clearly there's something happening in there that is not cleanly winning a laser neutral and getting the hard opening and killing off of it, right? Like there's something going wrong there that's not that thing, which you do know how to do, but you're not getting it every stock. So you need to start looking, why is this not happening every stock? And the truth is, just from watching that last match, and I'm sure it'll happen here, is there's a lot of situations where you're not getting that far. Like, instead of you go for the laser outplay into the clean opening, you're like, well, this time I'll just sort of go for a down air, and then you die out of it. And it's like, okay, well, that's one stock gone, you know, and then...
Yeah.
And so it seriously becomes like a mental battle that like every single thing you do needs to be high quality. And it's not... The thing is, when I say that, it's not like you need to play so tight and like focused that every single input is perfect. It's that when you play and you look at your gameplay and there's any elements of it that are lazy, or even if it hits, like, oh, they were underneath me and I just shield drop down aired. It wasn't that good of a decision, but I did it and it hit. Okay. You need to look at that and be like, whoa, like, that needs to go. Like, you're no longer at the level where it's like, oh, you just need to hit a good combo. It's like, no. When you see yourself do something stupid, you need to be like, that right there needs to not happen, like, ever again. Like, because that is going to be what separates you getting to the top and you being a top 20 player in like a year or something, and you kind of being stuck at this slightly below Logos level for like another year or something. This is what's going to make the big difference. Is like the level of like ruthlessness with the combos. And not the combo, level of ruthlessness with the gameplay and decision making. So let's just watch this for a second and like kind of go into like how each stock, you know, shapes up. Because this is like my honest opinion on it is like, it feels like you're really close to being good if you just stayed consistently on the good frequency all the time. Because I'm kind of running out of things of like I'm running out of things to tell you that like, oh, you need to do this and then you'll find big improvement. Like you're kind of just good. The problem is you're not good all 4 stocks. So that's our next thing to try to fix.
Right. If it helps, there's something that I've thought about, which is, I think on some level, there's a part of me when I play that feels like, I don't want to ever stay too locked into like one, like macro strategy of like, if I'm thinking about the Falco Ditto, where my general strategy might be to like just shoot high lasers consecutively from like a good range and just keep the enemy Falco under in a bad spot until he either like full hops or tries to like retreat to a side platform. Then like my worry if I just keep doing that is I feel like it's gonna give my opponent, if I repeat those sequences over and over, it's gonna give my opponent more opportunities to come up with some clever, creative way to outplay me. And I want to like circle. I'm trying to.
Okay. Wait. This is perfect. This is like a really important thing. You just need to do the game plan, and when they come up with a really clever way to circumvent it, you go back and you watch the Slippy file and you cover that option, and then you keep doing the same plan over and over, but with that option now covered. This is like a crucial piece. The whole point of a game plan, the entire point of the game plan, is that no matter what your opponent does, you're sticking to it. If it's something that changes based on what your opponent is doing, it's not really part of like the matchup game plan. That's more of like a player-specific game plan. So when you're thinking of like matchup game plans, it's something that should work every time. And this might also play into the fact that like you feel like you kind of lose sight of the matchups when you haven't played it enough. And it's because you're being a little too loose with the game plan. Like it's like if you just 100% believe in the game plan and do it, you're good. Like you just need to have confidence in your own stuff. Like them coming up with a crazy secret solution, like how many of those can they really have? And if they come up with one, you can just watch the VOD and figure it out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I watch you play, that kind of is closer to what you do.
Yeah,
like,
I just do the same thing.
Yeah, and then if they do something crazy, you're just like kind of ready for it, or like you're pretty aware of the most common counterplay.
Exactly, and it's because I stuck with the game plan and I kept getting hit for the game plan until I can cover the ways that people are hitting me for doing the game plan.
Right. Okay.
And this is another thing. You just need to think. You need to think really hard about like discipline stuff, because like a lot of the little like, I don't want to say like wishy-washiness or any sort of like what's the word I used to use for it? I don't know.
Like uncertainty or
like anything that's a little bit like I kind of just leave this up to my intuition. You kind of need to like start targeting and being like, okay, no, let's like nail this down for sure. Like, what does this mean here? Because what you're looking for now is consistency. Like I said, you are a good player sometimes, and you need to figure out how to be a good player all the time.
Right.
So, okay, let's just go over this really quick. Start with this. Bam, bam, perfect. Get this opening forward smashed, or that's fine too. Nair down air, totally good. Perfect, like perfect stock. You just open up, you get your pressure, you get the opening out of it, and you kill him. Great. Let's see. First option, okay, you're light shielding during this. Perfect. Everything's perfect. Okay, a little bit greedy here. Little bit greedy. Like this. Like you're not, this isn't a winning mix-up. You're just going to get down aired into something.
Yeah.
Like you can play it safe here and have a guaranteed 0%. So it works out okay. Okay, so now we're back to neutral. Oh, you're in close. What do you do here? Do you do a defensive action? You crouch. Really good. You get stuck in shot. It's okay. Nothing bad has happened yet. Okay, back to the platform. Good. Back to the platform. Okay. This kind of worked out. It wasn't too bad. I don't like the approaching laser because you didn't set up a laser first. That's the reason why this failed.
Right, right. Yeah,
Okay.
I've told myself that's one of the things that I was talking about when I said that, like, in the Falco Ditto, that's like a basic one. That's one of my rules. Is like I try to not approaching laser at a long distance when Falco is full
Mm-hmm.
hop, but I keep forgetting whenever I haven't played the matchup in a while.
Okay, so this whole sequence really really good. This is good, super good, and then you go for this. Okay, when you get here, you try to pressure too hard into the corner, so it's greedy, and so you get punished, and you might lose your stock out of this.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was
you
trying
don't.
to power shield and then aerial out of shield, but I just missed the power shield and did a take
Ah,
laser
I
fair
see.
instead. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it might be something to consider here then that like because the power shield's not super consistent, maybe you just want to stay on the platform or set up a different laser setup here. Platform here is really scary on Stadium. Like you can just kind of hang out at the edge here, waveland off back air or drop turnaround laser. All that stuff is really scary.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Okay, but that's like something small. I'm more looking at okay, what happens here?
I just full hop in the
Rolled
corner
into
and
the
thought I
corner. That was kind of
yeah.
weird. Like that. Okay, and then that was weird.
That might have been an accident. The
Okay.
roll. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're trying to short hop back air or something. Okay, so this is good. Like it's so high quality. Like you're doing so much good stuff. That's like okay, what are we missing here? That's what we got to figure out. Okay. Oh, got reversal. That's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I should just. That's like I shouldn't nair when enemy Falco is at 0. I just
You
that's
were
like a rule
probably
that.
just off by like a frame, but yeah, I try to not interact at 0 at all, either
Yeah,
unless it's a
yeah.
shine or a laser.
Right, right.
Okay, and then let's see what ends up happening here.
I
Okay,
couldn't believe that laser didn't hit him. I was so
yeah,
shocked.
you need a stalemate here, right here. Just roll away, dash away, full hop away, something. Full stalemate. You let him
Yeah,
pressure
I
you
think
instead of stalemating.
I was just I think I would have if I was like in the mental state for it, but I
Mm-hmm.
was so like in disbelief that he didn't get hit by the laser.
So it's like, okay, let's think about this. You took those two stocks, and the way you took them was pretty good. I don't think it's not really the weakness isn't on your end doing stuff to them. It's on stuff getting done to you. Because do you really feel like he did as much high quality stuff to take two stocks off of you as you did to take two stocks off of him? Like to me, it really doesn't
Not
feel like
yeah.
it. Like he didn't get a clean opening into a kill. He kind of got a messy reversal, and then you kind of like let yourself get pressured, and then he kind of just hit you. And so it's like clearly you had good gameplay on the offense, but it's like I don't know. It's like why do you have two stocks? I'm kind of it's hard to pin it down fully yet, but like I'm kind of closing in on the idea of it of like okay, great, dude. How do you lose this game? Oh, drop back air there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But okay, light shielding between stocks. You're playing between the stocks really good. You're playing safe here. Okay, you run in, get shot. Okay, dude, how do you? Okay, bad spot dodge. And okay, so this is like an issue. You get kind of laser pressured. You're getting a little bit lazy. Like right here, it's like you get lasered here. You can wave dash off the stage, double jump back air. You can go to edge. You can go off then side B. You can full hop here. There's all kinds of stalemate options there. So currently,
Yeah.
it seems like at least in this matchup, you're just not reacting great off of his pressure. Like you're not going back to stalemate when he has advantage state. Okay, a little greedy there. Okay, let's see what happens here. Crazy laser. Don't gotta watch out for those. And you start doing this back air. It's funny because you didn't do this back air at all earlier in the game, and you were doing well. So it's like
Yeah.
you kind of it's like wait, you see you lost laser control. You know you lost laser control. The platform's right here. Stalemate on the platform. Come down with your own laser control. Get the win in neutral and kill him.
Yeah, you know what I think it was like you were saying where like if you focus too much on like trying to recreate a vision of a thing in the game, then you're gonna like not you're not gonna play the matchup correctly. I think the previous stock I wanted to back air his approaching down air, and I like mistimed it or was like slightly off, and he ended up killing me for it. So then this stock I was like I really am gonna try to back air him if he down airs at me.
Mm. But then he didn't
So I
down
got,
air
like,
at you.
yeah, he didn't down air me, and then I ended up just kind of.
And that's
like,
why
kind
we
of
take
listening
the
on the wrong
stalemate.
thing.
Like, when you get hit with the
Yeah.
laser, you take the stalemate, and then you come back in and you win neutral. You're letting it get messy. And when you let it get messy, being better doesn't matter as much. Like right here, like you really want to force this. It's like, huh, that's weird. This doesn't look like laser control into a great neutral opening into a combo. It looks like you're really just trying to make it happen, and then you get opened up for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, okay, and now you're kind of pressured. Okay, so you get this. Okay, reset with the lasers. Okay, nice, baiting him. Reset. Okay, good. Everything here has been really good. Hold the corner. Okay, crazy. I don't like the dash attack, but it's fine. It worked. And then don't get reversal. Like, don't get reversal in the corner right here. This is, like, really scary. I would not do this. He could side B and kill you here. You just have to be super conservative here. Just, like, wall nairs, roll back, and laser. It doesn't matter. Don't do the double jump, double laser. You get reversal.
Oh, I see.
You miss input. You're stuck in the corner. He does this. Okay, let's see. How do you make it? Okay, out in the tournament winner. Go to ledge tournament winner. Okay, and you get hit. And so it's like, can you feel it that when things are orderly, you're good, and then when things get chaotic, they're bad, and you need to turn the chaotic situations into orderly situations as like a matter of discipline. Like you just need to.
I don't know
that.
why I don't.
Yeah, me neither. But that's how it works. It's like you've been working on all these elements. And it's like,
I feel like
this is just another element.
Yeah. I honestly, I kind of don't want to watch the other two games.
Sure,
because
that's
I feel like I feel like I fell apart, especially after the first game.
Okay.
I feel like the Pantera, like the first two games, if you could watch those, because
let's do that.
I don't feel like I know what I'm doing sometimes versus Falcon.
Okay. So we know, like, you do know what to do. Like you know about the high lasers and looking for the getting under them and shining and all that stuff. Like, and you know,
I guess I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess
okay.
like I don't know what is like mentally wrong with me that I'm like allowing myself to not do the things we talk about.
Okay. Okay, so right here, the game plan. What does the game plan say right here? Game plan says retreating high laser.
Yeah.
And then look at this greedy moment right here. So you miss this. It's like you go here, and it's like, do you drift back? Do you try to air dodge to the platform or anything? No, you go for full aggro downer, and it's greedy, and you get grabbed, and you could lose a stock for this. That is a laziness. You need to get rid of the laziness here. It's better to try to be safe and get hit than try to be stupid and get hit. Like, it's better to be smart here, and then they read you being smart and they hit you. If someone, like, that's how you get Armada or whatever. That's how you beat Zane, is you just hard read them being geniuses over and over. And it's like, if that's the only way to beat you, that's kind of sick. Like, if the only way to beat you is to hard read you doing the best option over and over, you're in a good place, because then you just mix up every now and then and people get destroyed. So it's like, you don't want to get lazy there. Okay, and then right here, it's like, well, what's the non-lazy option here? Probably go to ledge.
Go to ledge, I know, yeah.
So it's like, okay. And then you get comboed and you get hit. Okay. Okay, so now we're back. Okay. Nothing went wrong yet. Okay, get those lasers established. No, the aerials.
Yeah.
The aerials happened, so you didn't get the lasers established, so you got hit. Okay, so you get the kill. See. Okay, good. Right here, this is super small, but this is like a Kalindi solve. You can actually run off shine this.
Oh yeah. I've seen him talk about that. Yeah.
Lasers, hey.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I not doing these? Like, you know that they're good, but where are they? Where are the lasers? Okay, here they are. Too much dash dancing here. You weren't in a pressure position. You only want to dash dance here after this laser when you're in a spot where he is fearing your approaching aerial. And because you dash back too much first, this dash dance isn't threatening approaching aerial, so he's allowed to pressure you in the corner.
Yeah, I actually, because I did analyze this game myself, I thought about that idea that, like, if I'm going to dash dance after a laser versus Falcon, I should probably never corner myself with the dash dance, which is what I did there.
Yeah,
because then you
exactly.
can always just nair fully into my space, and I can't avoid it.
Completely agreed. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you get opened up here? You just messed up your shield pressure. That's like tech skill. It's fine. I don't really care about those. At this point, at least. It's like, you did a good decision. Okay, let's see. Jumping in, didn't really have a reason. Okay, you got the back air. That's good. And he's dead. Nice. Perfect down air. Literally perfect. Could not be better. Okay, good. Get out of the corner. Wave dashing in on Falcon is a bad habit. Like on the shield pressure. Right here.
Oh.
If you wave dash in, he'll just be able to grab you.
Okay.
It's because you thought it might hit.
That actually makes sense, because he has a reverse shield grab. Yeah, I forgot about the idea he can do that.
Yeah, no, he can butt grab you no matter how. Even if you max wave dash this, you'll get grabbed. Against Falcon. This works against Marth, but not against Falcon.
Right. Okay, I'll just keep that in mind.
Okay, so you're in the corner. Okay, good. Non-lazy corner option. I love it. Lazy forward smash, though.
I think I pay pretty hard for it, too.
Because the thing is like, this forward smash does work sometimes, and that's okay. And when you're, top 20 in the world, you can make this forward smash work. But right now, you need to be capped and disciplined.
Right.
Because look what happens out of it. Like, you were a stock up and all your hard work, and then do this lazy down air from the edge. See, the only times they even touch you are when you're being super lazy. And you die. And now it's even. And you're like, that's weird. I feel like I'm way better. Why is it even?
Yeah.
And it's like, because you do way better stuff than them, and then you give them free stuff. Okay, so let's see, dude.
Yeah.
Free stuff. You're just like, what am I doing wrong? It's like, well, you had a perfect corner laser situation, and you just naired, so you die, or you could die.
Yeah.
And then you get nair gamble again. Okay, you kind of panic rolling. It's okay. Just stay patient here. Oh, lazy. Yeah, you're dead. And now you're stock down. Because you made 0 good decisions with that stock. Okay, good. He's dead. And now it's last stock. And sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes you have a messy game. It comes down to last stock. You just have to be like, last stock, play the game plan perfectly. Like, it's okay. It's okay that you did. Okay, good. You didn't ledge dash. Grabs pretty lazy. Oh, no. What are you doing? Okay, nice. Okay, a little bit choky. It's fine. Oh, no, the lazy down air.
It's drifting, yeah.
You can just go to edge. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so here. Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a combination of like kind of panicking, and it's like panicking plus the lazy option. It's like when you're panicking, I feel like you're not, like, you lose sight of each individual option, and you just start, like, I don't know if you're thinking too far ahead or too far about your goals or what, but you kind of start losing sight of like the individual movements and hitboxes and stuff. And last stock is when you need to be extra like focused on those and like just winning every single interaction with 0 laziness. Super good. Like, look at if you'd been lazy here, like right here. You do this. It's like, what if you just down aired right here? You would have just gotten hit because that's like the easy basic option. But you played safe. Right. You played a stalemate, nice neutral here, and it gave you like a really good opening. And then you get your combo, perfect lasers, dude. You're good. Like, you're just good. Like, it's so dumb that you're not like beating more people because like, perfect. Yep, I would have done 0 things differently, including missing the first edge guard. Like, I would have definitely just done you basically did like a fiction stock, really good off the edge. Yeah. Oh, so good. You didn't even play the lazy shield pressure here. Like, you just get this, you mess up, and you just walk away, and you get this. And, like, you're literally destroying this guy. You know, like, if you just kept this up the entire game, you would be me. Literally.
Yeah, well, this game was, like, a real outlier. Because I actually feel like, I think I 4-stock in this game, but...
But you're not 4-stocking him for any reason other than the fact that you're only doing good options.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm just like, I don't know what I need to do to be more disciplined. I guess just like keep pointing out when I'm not being disciplined to myself, and you wanna create metrics for like what defines discipline in each matchup. Like, I'm disciplined if I don't do X and Y. Like, I'm disciplined if I don't aerial from ledge
and I don't drift in with the high down air, and I don't attack off the top platform, and I don't short hop down air at him out of shield, and I don't back air in place at low percent. Like, you have this list of things that are like lazy options, and if you just don't do any of those options, you'll probably be good. So
yeah.
I think of it a lot. Like, it's like, I think of it from two angles. I think of it of like, I know the game plan, I know the good stuff, I know what I want, and then I'm like whitelist and blacklist. I'm like, I know also what I really don't want. And if I don't do all the things I hate, and sometimes I do the stuff I like, that's good. Like, that's pretty much what I end up. Is just try to never do the stuff you hate, and sometimes do the stuff that's good. And as long as the other times you're not doing the bad stuff, it's usually not that bad. Like, even if you're not doing the best stuff, as long as you don't do the bad, lazy things, a lot of times, it'll end up with just the characters continuing to move around the screen without anybody really taking damage.
Right.
And then, all right. So then there's a little lazy, but you are up 4 stocks to 1, and it is Yoshi's, and it looks like you had a read, and so it's like, it's fine. Not really concerned with your 4 stocks to 1 up game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a game of like a perfect example of like, you did your good stuff to him, and at no point in this game did you start doing the dumb stuff that you like. Look at this is so good. Like, look, he's like, will this snare get him? Is he dumb? And you're like, nope. How about this snare? Nope. How about this stomp? Nope. And then you win the game because you didn't do anything dumb. And then guess what happens when you don't do dumb stuff? They do their dumb stuff.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's like a race to see who can be dumb first. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and that's why, I don't know, we're 100% at a point where this is all mental on you. Like,
yeah.
Once you get past that point and you are playing, like let's say you're playing this high quality amount, like, let's say you play like last game and you played that like a consistent amount, you would start having different errors. Like, you would be playing against way better Falcons. You'd start having more sets against S2J and Nun and Wizzy and stuff like that. And it would be a lot harder than playing Pantera. And so you'd start... It's like you're just at this gap. And if you need to jump the gap. And once you jump the gap, we can just start looking at, oh, you should have forward smashed there. Oh, you should have up aired there. And if you watch any lessons I do with, like, top level players, I don't really get too many of them. And sometimes when they do it, they want it to just like stay private. They don't want it streamed and stuff. But like, when you do like a lesson with a top level player, I just literally end up being like, oh, this micro situation, this is pretty good, but I think this might be a little better. And they'll say, oh, I see. What about this? And, okay, we talk about that. How about this situation? Okay, this situation, I think maybe this, or maybe move back a little bit. And they go, oh, how about that move? That's the next level of like analysis. Like, but we're not, like, we can do a little bit of that here, but that's not what's causing you to like lose to the people you're currently losing to. There's this mental gap between like, I do the good stuff and I only do the good stuff. And you need to make yourself into somebody who only does the good stuff. And once you do, we'll literally have a completely different style of lesson, because you'll be like, man, none reverse 3-0'd me, and then I can help you with that.
Right.
But like, you literally are close, like, and it's been a steady improvement through all the lessons we've done. And usually, or in the past, a lot of times, like I said, it's been a lot easier to just find big gameplay flaws. But now it's like, dude, but now we have this. This is you now. Good. Excellent. Fantastic. Great. Nothing's been done wrong yet. Oh, great bait. Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay. Getting the damage. And then you're like, I'm going to be stupid. And then you just die. And it's like, dude, wait a minute. Like, no. Without the being stupid, you were just super winning.
Yeah. It feels like sometimes it almost like it blends in my head, where like some of the situations I have, like, I play well, and then the situations where I play bad, it's like in the moment I don't even feel like I'm doing something stupid. It's not like a conscious thought that I have. I'm like, well, what if Falcon runs forward and like nares at me while I'm on the side platform? Like, I could just preempt that with a short hop off downer at him.
No, I definitely know. Like, because you have this mental projection of them, and you see them running into the downer.
Right. And yeah, and it's like I don't know, I guess I'm just like not aware. I'm not like really comprehending how risky it is that I'm choosing to do that in that moment. It
Mm-hmm.
just feels like, well, I'm just doing so many good things. This is probably another good thing, maybe.
Right. Okay, so that's true, and that is a normal response, and this is why game plans exist. Game
Yeah,
plans
yeah,
exist because you go right here. You see it and you're like, huh, what if he runs in right here? And then you go, wait a minute, is short hopping off the side platform with a down air against Falcon part of the plan? And if it's
yeah.
not
Never.
part of the plan, no matter how smart it sounds in the moment, like you have to stick to the game plan. It's like I don't know, it's like one of those like memory loss stories, where you like look on your arm and it's written like don't trust so and so or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
That's how it feels, where it's just like you're like, oh, that juicy down air, and they're like, look at me, I'm just the most down airable Falcon in the world, and you look at your arm and it's written like don't approaching down air Falcon off side plat, and you go, oh, okay, phew, like thank goodness, like that is
yeah,
like
yeah,
what you
yeah.
need to be doing, because like this negates all that other good stuff you did. All that other like literal perfect stuff is now irrelevant. Okay, so you end up here. You kind of start panicking here, and you get kind of clipped a little bit. I think this is okay, but then okay, whatever. That's a mix up. Let's ignore that. The down air with the shield drop is a little bit lazy. Okay, get this. Okay, it's a little messy. I want more. I want you to establish a little bit more here with the lasers. Okay, and now you're making like some
Yeah.
unsure decisions. These aren't even lazy. You're just kind of like, oh, you're trying to find your footing, which happens. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Dead. Okay, he's dead anyway. Definitely dead here. Please, no. Please die. Please be over. Holy moly. Okay, he's dead. Okay. So now it's even. And the nice thing is, no matter how dumb you play, as soon as the match ends up even, every time I'm like, oh, I'm so stupid, I gave up the stock, whatever, even stocks, that's fine. I'll just play normal from here on out,
Right.
So it's like, okay, no, dude, none of this lazy nair. Get the lasers
I
established.
know.
Okay, lasers, nope. Get the laser. You're in the corner. Chill out. Don't just roll. It's better to just hold shield in the corner against Falcon, because when he grabs you, he doesn't really have a super strong like edge guard, and like it's also like a hard read to grab you. So I just a lot of times I'll just sit and shield for a second and then like wave dash out or like go to the platform or attack out or something. I just like wait a little bit. You can be a little more patient than just rolling. See what happens when he
Yeah.
grabs you in the corner? It's like not that bad usually. Okay. So here, okay, nice. Big oops, missed the combo. Nice, not lazy at all.
The downer was.
The down air was okay because like he had clearly been like he was gonna have to shield it because of the height in the air this laser hit him at right here, or like this one. Like I think down air here is totally fine, especially because you crossed it up. You just have to always like this is one of the cardinal rules of Falcon. It's like if you hit the back of his shield, he's probably gonna stomp.
Right. Yeah.
Just happens every time. So you're just like, okay, I gotta be really aware. Everybody falls for that. Lasers, establish the lasers.
Yeah.
Laser, retreating laser, retreating laser, retreating laser. Okay. Now you get hit. And it's like, hey, if you had established those lasers, maybe you get an neutral opening, and now it's 3-2 for you. The game is very fragile. And I think this is part of the mental adjustment you have to make, is that, like, for a long time you were kind of at the level where, like, the game wasn't quite as fragile. It's more about just generally being better than people and generally having better spacing. But as you get better and better and better, you start getting to the point where one mistake, one bad decision is all it takes to throw the game. And it's not quite there yet, but it'll start happening more and more often, where you feel like you should have won the game and one mistake caused you to lose it, and you just need to start getting rid of those one mistakes. It's kind of crazy, but you do.
That is what it feels like for sure right now.
And so it's like, I don't know, I think you can be like, I think you should be proud, honestly, of like the improvements you've made and stuff like that. This is gonna be. It's funny. I thought the speed thing was gonna be really hard for you, and you kind of knocked it out. Like your Falco is a pretty good speed now. It feels like the speed stuff really helped.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was super like slowed down for like years of trying to be more laser heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So this like really helped. Just like this whole arc of me trying to be fast has like helped me round myself out a lot more, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I really like. You're definitely like one of my students that I'm like, okay, he can make it. Like, I want you to make it. Like, the progression has been so clear, and you've been able to implement and fix a lot of your weaknesses. This is the thing. You gotta knock this thing out by our next lesson, or like, it's not that you need to knock it out by our next lesson, but like, this is like the boss of the level. like
Right.
like you've been making a lot of like gameplay adjustments, like very general, like, oh, be faster, hit harder, blah blah blah. You know, you've done that, and now we're really at this point where you're like, do I want to be good or do I want to be a pro? And if you want to be a pro, you got to reset with lasers every time. You got to not do the lazy down air, stuff like that. You got to go to ledge when you have to go to ledge. And making this sort of mental shift is gonna be hard. It's not easy. But I didn't think the speed stuff was gonna be hard either, and you conquered that. So this is it. You got to just be thinking about this, and this is a mental shift you have to make. If you can make it, you'll definitely get to a level where like you stop feeling that feeling, like, because it'll like, sure, maybe you're playing Logos and you still lose a lot of last stock games for a little bit. Maybe that's like halfway there, but maybe when you're ahead 2 stocks to 1, you stop losing those.
Right.
Like, that's the process. Is just the more ruthless you get, the more disciplined you get, the more. Because right now the problem is that you need to outplay them like way harder than you should to beat them, because you're giving up. Like, it's like a race against time. You're like, can I be good and beat them before I'm bad and give it to them?
Yeah.
Like, that's like what you're racing right now. So you're like, oh, I'm taking their stocks. Like, man, this is going really great. Like, but I'm also giving them up like even faster, and then you lose.
Yeah. It's like a 1v1.5.
And
So, like,
and so you
me
need
versus
to.
my opponent and half myself.
And so it's like, you need to be taking the stocks exactly how you're taking them. That's going really great. You don't even need to change anything. The way you're finding openings, the openings you're getting, the combos, it's all good. It's just when they're opening you up, and a lot of times it's not even them opening up, it's you giving it to them, that you need to fix. You need to fix them taking stocks off you.
Yeah.
That's where your focus should be. But you're really close. This is going great. I'm really liking the way your Falco's developed. If you can cross this bridge, you'll be taking some names. You'll be very surprised.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm hoping for it.
Mm-hmm. So, not easy. You gotta let go of some stuff in your head probably to cross the barrier, but it takes a lot more energy to play like that, especially at first. But I think just like, I would say like literally just play some games and try to not do dumb stuff, and then just watch the VODs like we watch these VODs, and just look at the dumb stuff and make notes of when you do the dumb stuff and not to do it again, because it's really right now is about pruning that dumb stuff out of the way. And I think you can just kind of do that type of analysis repeatedly and get rid of a lot of common habits.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be my focus for sure.
All right, sick, man. Sounds good. Definitely excited to see where you go with this. I'm definitely enjoying watching the development of your Falco. So best of luck on this grind, and hit me up if you have any questions or concerns on the stuff we talked about.
Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate the help as always.
Yeah, sounds good, dude. It's fun talking. I'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
Peace.
All right, have a good one. Peace.